gang. This week we have our fall Halloween buckets. Halloween falls on Friday this year. So we didn't want to go full Halloween, but we did want to incorporate some of our beautiful fall and darker tones. So let's see what's in our bucket. We have some beautiful espresso roses, yellow macara orchids, orange mutant ranunculus, burgundy button mums, purple disbuds, kangaroo paws, and our classic green hydrangea. For some texture, we have lotus pods, aganas, grevillea, slough, and last but not least, our curly willow. So the first thing I like to do is lay everything out. Sometimes things get very tangled in the bucket when you're making a hand bouquet. You want both hands to be free, or at least one hand. Once everything's laid out, make sure all of your stems are nice and clean. So this is all clean. I might want to remove this leaf. It might get in the way of my bouquet, but you can always leave as much as you want and pull as we go. I like to start off with my hydrangea. I'm going to take all of my hydrangeas and hold them close together as if they are one hydrangea. You can feel free to tie with raffia wire if you want. I like to keep it nice and loose because all of the flowers are going to kind of hold it together. All right, so let's start with our shorter flowers, our base flowers. So we have some burgundy buttons. And I'm going to place them on the outside of my hydrangea, very close to the heads in a triangle formation. So just like so, real nice and tight. Okay, then I'm going to take my mutant ranunculus. These guys are kind of short, so they're going to be kind of a base for how short my stems at the bottom are going to be. I'm going to place these in between my buttons, but these are going to actually go through my green hydrangea. They're going to sit slightly above the head of the hydrangea. Feel free to zhuzh as you go. That's why I like to hold it nice and tight. Using your hand is almost like a base, using my pointer and my thumb to hold it, and then my other 3 fingers are going to fluctuate to make it fan. So this is our bouquet for the moment. Okay. Then I'm going to take my kangaroo paws. They're going to be our tallest flowers. They got a lot of tendrils, so I might want to remove some of those. So that would have a nice clean stem. And this is also going to be inserted through the hydrangea, right next to that ranunculus. Tangled up. All right. Okie dokie. So this is kind of what we got started here. All right, now I'm going to go for my roses because I have 5 of those. I'm going to place one in the center. Because it's going in the center, I'm going to remove some of these leaves. You can always leave as many leaves as you want. But this, I want to be able to see all of the guys that are in the center. My rose is going to sit a little bit higher than my ranunculus, but not quite as high as my kangaroo paws. So when you're placing your flowers, not only do you want to be placing them diagonally, you also want to be placing them at different heights. This is going to create depth within your hand wrapped bouquet. And this hydrangea is working as a backdrop, it's working as a grid, and it's also spacing things out really nicely for me. Okay, so I did 4 on the outside, 1 in the center. Now I'm gonna go for my Macara orchids. These guys are gonna kind of go in a triangle opposite my kangaroo paws. These are going to be placed right in there. Always doing diagonals helps to create that fan shape, and you can always zhuzh as you go. Things are going to move. We haven't tied it yet. Okay, so like that. Then I'm gonna get my purple mums. These guys are gonna sit in between the height of my Macaras and my roses. Be very gentle, they're very fragile. Hardy outside, but their petals are very dainty. Okay, great. So I did that as like a triangle. Now I'm gonna add my lotus pods. These guys I'm gonna tuck kind of in the center on either side, but I'm gonna sink those really deep. We don't want to see the artificial stick, and B, they're just kind of a textural background. They're not supposed to be a main character. Feel free to move anything as you go. Sometimes things get moved around. Just gotta readjust. A little bit better. Okay, now we're gonna add our textures. So we're gonna go for our curly willow. These guys are really long, and they're fun, they're funky. So I'm gonna set these on the outside and have them trying to point into my bouquet. And as you can see, this stem is very long. So I'm gonna place it where I want the height to be. You can trim that down. Just placing right on the outside. These hardy sticks are also helping to reinforce the shape of our bouquet. All right, now we have 2 aganis, and I'm gonna place those on opposite sides. Just kind of draping over. Doing it on opposite sides because I want it to be a very unified type of bouquet. So, see, both sides. The grevillea is just going to go in between my aganis. Anywhere that I might feel has some kind of hole, but this is all placed on the outside. So we're almost like skirting our bouquet at this point. Get a nice fun skirt. All right, and last but not least, we have our salal. So this is really going to finish everything off. I'm using the leaves to kind of cover up these stems here. I'm also using the stems to really, again, reinforce maybe some of those skinnier guys. If you got to switch hands, that's okay, but you want to keep everything nice and tight. Okay, so we have our bouquet. Now I need to wrap it. So we have our raffia wire. I'm going to use the thumb that I'm holding it down with and hold that in place. And then twist it around. Make sure it's around all of your stems. And twist it nice and tight. And like you're tying a bread tie. So, and keep things nice and tight. If we loosen it, it's gonna kind of flop around. So just nice and secure. If you got any leaves in the way, you can get rid of those bad boys. Okay. Perfect. And any excess wire you can trim. And now I want to trim my bouquet. Now hand-tied, you know, it's not in water yet, so you could leave the stems long if you wanted to. I like to have them uniform, and I also am going to make them uniform to the shortest stem. So just nice sharp shears. If you're really handy, you can use a knife. I like to use shears just on some of these stronger stalks and sticks. Alright, there you have it, nice and straight, nice and beautiful. And we are going to wrap this guy. So, we have our paper. If you have a wax paper, you want it to be wax side up to keep all of the moisture in. I'm going to take my bouquet and see this corner right here? See this corner? I'm going to place the head at the peak, right at an angle. I'm not very good at angles, but a little larger than a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to pull my paper up so that way these two peaks meet. Now I'm going to take the little side, tuck it in, and pull up. The other side, tuck and pull up. And then the middle, I'm just going to cinch together. And with my stapler. Now I'm going to take the paper and where my hands would normally go, I'm just going to cinch that together. And that really fans everything out nice. And then with my ribbon, finish it off with a really beautiful bow, something festive. And there's your wrap. Now let's say you get one of these delivered to you. So you might want to, well, first thing you want to do is take it out of the paper. Yours will have a water source on it, so just remove the paper, remove the water source. And then you're going to have, you know, your regular handy dandy vase, anything you might have at home. You want to recut these stems, okay? Almost like our skin. When we get a cut, we get scabbed over. That's what happens with these stems. So we want to reopen them because they've been sitting maybe without water, or even if they had water, they do scab back up. So just nice fresh cuts, nice clean water. And you can literally just plop this guy right in a vase, and it's beautiful. Now, let's say this is a little too tall. You want to put it in, you know, the center of your table. Well, you got a shorter guy. Just cut the stems a little shorter. Okay. So we're gonna cut it almost like an inch below the wire. This is why I like to use shears, because I don't think my knife could have gotten through that stick. Make sure your shears are nice and sharp though. Sometimes using them over and over again dulls them, and that hurts the stems. So, and if you're a weakling like me, you might have to set it down. Just don't crush the stems, it's the biggest thing. All right, so this is very, very short little guy, and I can just plop him right in here, and now I have a beautiful centerpiece. So it's very versatile. You can always make a hand-tied bouquet to put into a vase with the intention of that just plop and drop type of style. We do it all the time. Well, happy Halloween, everybody, and have a great November.